Well,
so they might be getting worse, you know?
the handwriting's on the wall. This is this year, this little effort, this scared everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, we scared the hell out of everybody
Yep.
because they knew, man, that thing passes, that's firing up the candle. We are lighting the rocket if we pass this thing because none of us really knows where it goes. But we will be lighting a rocket of reform that hasn't been lit in this country in 80, 90 years.
Okay, so I don't know if this is the appropriate time to ask this, but what needs to be done to get the ACLU on the right side this time?
There is nothing that we can do to get the ACLU on the right side of this issue other than continue to state what we state and to continue to stand where we stand. Why the ACLU opposes us and why they've come up with the kind of statements that they've come up with in their position paper and everything is something that's beyond my ken. I can't figure it out.
But we need to deal with them because they influenced a lot of other progressive organizations in the state.
They did. They influenced some progressive organizations in the state, but they had very little impact on true progressives. People like Pete Holmes, people like the mayor, people that are into real progressive reform. Those people were with us. Big time mainstream law firms that used to support the ACLU have been contacting us and telling us that they were appalled with the ACLU's behavior over this and that they do not support the ACLU on this. We are working on some strategies to try and address this issue. We're going to the ACLU's board. We are going to talk to other folks. We're going to see what we can do. But ultimately what they are arguing with us about and stuff goes to the very heart of what I was just talking to you about. The very bones of our argument, the very ground that we're standing on trying to move forward is where they want us to get off. I gave them an opportunity specifically to be involved in this process. I gave them an opportunity. I asked a friend of mine that worked there if she could draft code. I said, do you want to be part of this? We are all drafting code to remove all the civil and criminal penalties, and we're all getting there different ways because I had a team of lawyers that I said, let's all compare, let's all try and just remove all the penalties and see where we get. And it turned out to be really hard because the drug laws are so screwed up, you have to take drugs to understand them. But anyway, they really are incredibly nonlinear and screwed up. So I invited them to participate. They declined. And they said, will you consider putting regulations in your initiative? And I said no, for the reasons I have just got done detailing to you. I would never ask you guys. I mean, we scared those institutions. DPA, MPP, ACLU, Stop the Drug War, all these other things. They panicked when they saw this thing because they knew, man, if this thing passes, it's over.
We're done.
We don't have a job.
That's right.
We scared the hell out of what I call, and there's a book out there, I think of the same title that I haven't read, but I've heard it's really good, called Activism, Inc. Activism, Inc. wasn't behind us. No surprise, they're probably not going to be again. But we don't need Activism, Inc. Those are very few people that don't matter. We need the people to be with us. We don't need Activism, Inc. to be with us. We need the people to be with us. Because they're the ones that vote, and they're the ones that put us on the ballot, and they're the over 200,000 people that signed for us this time. Yeah, I think what, and I'm happy to answer questions. I know everybody's got, frustrating points and and are we going to do this and do that and everything. And yeah, things are going to be different. Usually when you do something once and you have to do it again, you hope that you avoid the mistakes you made the first time. I would certainly be hoping to do that. I'm not particularly smart, but I do try to avoid the same fuck up, the same way, the same time. Let's try and avoid that. So that's goal number one in terms of moving forward. But I just wanted to let everybody know that fundamental base reform that we're talking about And the reason, and I'm just going to say this and then I'm going to move on. The reason why I would not consider changing the initiative, and I won't consider changing it this time, and you can line me up at the gates of hell, and I'm not going to change my mind. And the reason is because I would never, ever ask a bunch of people like yourselves for your labor, which is sacred. That is the most sacred thing you have to give on this earth, is your time. Your labor. You're only here a short while. You know, you are spending your life fighting for this thing. I would not betray you by putting something forward that could be wiped out the day after we get it done.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. Ever. If I ever do, somebody come and shoot me. I mean it. You never do that to people, and you don't do it to people that have this level of commitment and this level of desire for reform. And that includes everybody out there that we're asking to help us. Every person we get to sign, everybody, they're putting themselves out there. We're trying to change something. It's got to stick. It's got to mean something. My promise is to you is we get this thing passed, we get this thing done, you will see the change you want. You will get it guaranteed if we work for it. Period. They cannot take it away from you. Period. So that's why we're doing what we're doing. That's what the fight's about. That's what the argument with the ACLU is about. That's what the argument with the other activists is about. We're not arguing anymore. We're moving forward.
Take it to the people.
We're going to do what we got to do.